X, Twitter, Premium, whatever stream, y'all. Go to hell. But stay here on Earth with us.
That's how you speak to the people that are helping us get this production going. That's how you show your generosity to stream, y'all. You tell them to go to hell.
We were just talking about tough love a few moments ago, Flea. You ain't gotta pause that.
Allball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Come on, man. You know how I do. Hope that wasn't too loud there. I'm sorry about it.
Ball suckers.
We need a D-man dropper.
We live.
Big Flea.
Y'all too quiet up there, man.
They didn't even throw a 4-up, nothing.
Yo, let's get to it, man.
To my left, the LA native, the media mogul himself, D-man dropper. That's what we call him uptown on the east side.
Big
Dime dropper.
Big Dime.
To his left, the skin glowing machine, the less sugar intaking Flea. I don't like that wink. That wink was mad weak. You gotta go in the mirror and work on that.
Nah. They love that.
The best sugar intaking? Right.
They love that. What did I tell you? Water intake.
I didn't say tank. I didn't say tank, boy. And you heard him in the background.
Eat your greens, y'all.
You can't see him. You can hear him.
We in the building. Don't drink enough water. A lot of sugar intake. Who cares? I'm in the building.
Yo, we gotta live long, OG. We gotta live long.
That's a fact.
We over here in the building. 4 Sportsmen is Bridak.
In the building. What up?
Yes, sir. Dom, what up?
You've been hiding. Where you been at, Dom?
I'm the one that tried to set this up today, actually. I've not been hiding.
Where you been? You been mourning your Clippers?
No, I've been asked on other people's shows, but I don't know. I've been trying to make some time. I've been busy coaching, actually, the honest truth.
How's that been going? Talk to us about that a little bit.
It's been amazing. Now getting in the AAU circuit, seeing, what's really going on in youth basketball and trying to be different, I guess. But that's another conversation for another day. I've gotten more perspective on that as well. So that's great. We always talk about American basketball development and basketball development on the 4 Sports. We always used to talk about that. So definitely trying to get more of a perspective on that. And yeah, man. But other than that, I'm going to try harder to make these happen more. If you guys are on Twitter right now, feel free to come to the YouTube side, either Allball TV channel or Dime Dropper YouTube channel. We see the comments. You can send us a super chat if you appreciate the show. We did a ton of these last year. Had a bunch of people telling us that we wanted more 4 Sportsmen. So we're going to try our best. But how's everybody else? All ball off screen, but we can still hear you.
Hey, man, you know me. I'm in the building, man. I'm here, live in the flesh. In the bat cave. I'm on the run, G. So
in the bat cave?
Gotta be low, man. I'll show my face Monday, but everything is good.
That's none of my business. But you know who showed their face yesterday? Oh, Big Queen's in the building. We salute him when we give him some profitable stuff. Your guy, Dom. Big Magic out here talking big things. Flaming the Ant-Man for talking spicy about his crew, his era.
That there really wasn't any skilled players in the NBA back in the day outside of Michael Jordan. That's what he said. Your response to that, Irvin Magic?
Well, I don't never respond to a guy that's never won a championship. It's not nothing to really say. He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he even won a high school championship. So for me, until you have achieved, right? And
the clip ends there.
We didn't even get the rest of the answer?
They ain't getting into all that, Don. We want the bochinche. We ain't care about all the rest of the details. He said you didn't win a championship in high school. You know, holla at me some other time. You too small. You Ant-Man. I'm Magic. I'm the Magic Man. Oh boy, you off screen, man. What's going on? What did you react to this when you heard the Magic Man, Flame Ant-Man?
I love it. These young dudes, they still wet behind the ears, breath still smelling like Similac, and they be talking too crazy and too spicy. I'm tired of the new generation and the disconnect. Flea said it the other day. The disconnect between the young and the new is getting out of control. I'm an old head, so I'm not gonna just take the old guy side because some of them hate a little bit too. But the younger today's generation, they literally show no respect to the older generation. And for Ant-Man to say what he said was totally wrong. And for a guy like Magic Johnson, who seems like he doesn't really get into this type of stuff. To me, he uplifts, great businessman. Like I said, call him Magic the Big Smile. So for him to respond like that, I'm pretty sure everybody else at his caliber that played back then feels the same way. And this is why I always reserve putting Ant-Man in that light. It showed it in the Olympics that he wasn't ready. And it showed as far as intellectual and basketball IQ, knowing the history of the game, to make a silly comment like that. This is why he's not ready to be the face of the league. And this is why he struggles on the court, because if you know your history and know the game, you know what you said is dead wrong. So I love what Magic said. I love how Magic responded. And like I said before, God rest his soul. Rest in peace, the great. He lucky my man Jerry West ain't still alive, because Magic took it light on him for the little bit we seen. I'm pretty sure Jerry West would have roasted him. And I'm very disappointed in Ant-Man, but I'm also disappointed in the elders of this generation, Steph, LeBron, KD, Westbrook, because I think guys like that can come out and say something as well. Like, hey, Ant-Man, you can't really be talking like that. Do your history first and maybe give him a little tutorial of the guys that played in that era that did have skill. Because once again, I think Ant-Man, he's mistaken skill for athleticism. I said it before. If he said athleticism, okay, I give you that. But when we talking skill, no disrespect, ain't a lot of skilled players today. A lot of athletic players today. But ain't no, you know what I mean? So I'm glad Magic checked him. And if I'm Ant-Man, you leave it right there. You see Drake ain't respond back to Kendrick, right? Ant-Man, do not respond back to Showtime. You would get your feelings hurt. So big shout out to Magic Johnson for setting the record straight. Man, Ant-Man, you played yourself.
Flea. Dom, you see Flea over here just salivating at you. Got his claws out.
Nah, I mean, I think Magic was well in his right to say what he said, right? I just think that first of all, I look at who he's sitting with. That's first. I look at who he's sitting with. So I see who he's sitting with.
Big Queens.
Big Queens, yeah, whatever. But I see who he's sitting with. And I already know that now he's going to lean into funny or lean into popping shit or leaning into saying something that's going to go viral, right? Leaning into something that somebody's going to discuss. Because you're saying with him. So you're going to say something that's going to be fly, right? I always look at environment, who you talking to, right? If somebody else said that to Magic, if a D Wade said that to Magic, if a contemporary said that to Magic, I think the response would have been different. Now, did what he said was wrong? No, absolutely not. It was right. I just think that, again, I'm going to lean on what I said the other day. The disconnect is getting too crazy between the youth and the old school players, right? And I think for me, the old school players come from an era where they know nothing about this social media, who clapping back and all of this and that. They're coming into an arena that is new to them, right? We're talking about kids that grew up on the internet. Ant-Man and his crew, that is the first like generation, or maybe the generation before them. KD and them is really like the generation that grew up in this social media era. They've been taking it in their entire lives. Magic ain't from that. Jerry West ain't from that. Bird, Zeke, them, Kareem, they're not from that. So when they start to lean into that, I think it's corny, because now you have an opportunity to school Ant-Man. We didn't hear the whole soundbite, but he could have started. Go ahead.
Hold on, Flea. I'm gonna give an example. You see how every time Floyd Mayweather, when he talks about, you know, the greatest boxers, his top 5 or whatever, how he leaves out Muhammad Ali, and you see how some of the guys come to Ali's aid, rest in peace, the GOAT. Mm-hmm. Ant-Man is smart enough to know what he's doing, whether it's clickbait or not. If you're in that profession, it's nowhere in the world you can say that. So I'm saying, where's the Mellows? Where's his so-called stepbrother now, KD, straightening him out? So for me, I put the blame on everybody. Because once again, when Floyd tried that mess, everybody backs to Muhammad Ali like, hold on, bro, you losing your mind. So for Ant-Man to be able to say that, be comfortable saying that to whoever he did on whatever platform and don't get checked right there, nah, man, you can't do that. So, Flea, I disagree with you. I don't care what era you grew up in, whether it's the social media era or not. You cannot say that when you're 100% wrong.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Ant-Man is right or wrong. You bridging the gap, because you're saying Steph should have said something, KD should have said something. That era, the guys that are the big brothers to them right now should be stepping in and saying something. 1,000%, I agree with that. But I'm saying these old niggas could take an opportunity and say, okay, yeah, there was a lot of skilled players, and Magic played with a bunch of them and played against a bunch of them. We didn't get a chance to really hear everything, but that could have been an opportunity to offer some schooling to this young man. That's what I'm saying, right? Why lean into, well, he hasn't won anything. He's 22 years old. You're right. He hasn't won anything. Everybody's not privileged like you, brother, to come into the league and win a championship, or for winning an NCAA championship. You one of one. Everybody don't do that. So you standing on something we all know. We know that. I'm just saying he could have leaned into saying, hey, Adrian Dantley, super skilled. Mark Aguirre, super skilled. We start talking about guys, you know what I'm saying? That could have been an opportunity.
Pull that a little bit lighter. Don, what you think, man? Jump in there, man.
Well, Anthony Edwards is wrong. He's younger than me. He even said that he didn't even like watching basketball that much a couple years ago. He said he enjoys football more. If you can find that quote, Fabian, that would be amazing. But he was saying like it's too soft for him or something. So I doubt Anthony Edwards is very into the history of basketball and knowledgeable about the history of basketball. So I don't really think what he says about it has any validity at all, quite frankly. It's another, as Allball said, another instance of a younger player just speaking when he doesn't know. He literally admits in the quote he didn't see it, and then so he can't speak on it, and then he speaks on it, which is hilarious. But as far as Magic's response, I mean, I like that he got petty like that because it's funny, and these people just are out of, these kids are out of control now. But Flea is right in the sense that we haven't seen the full clip, but it would have been better if he started naming some names, educate him, instead of just saying that, because that just feels like you're matching his level of pettiness. And as Flea said, Ant-Man came into one of the worst franchises in NBA history, if you're talking actual success, and Magic was a result of a trade that the Lakers got that number 1 pick. So, but yeah, Ant-Man's still in the wrong for saying what he said. I like seeing Magic get a little petty because I think he tries to keep it so like nice all the time nowadays, but he could have educated him a little bit better. But it's funny to see. I just think this stuff has become ridiculous. This old school, new school, it's out of control. And people don't actually want to put in the time. They just want to talk.
They don't
I
watch
don't
the
think it's
game.
ever been in control. I don't think it's ever been in control, please. This is Ant-Man's
But
comments. What you talking about, Don? Anthony Edwards says he can't watch basketball, would rather play in the NFL, and is an aspiring rapper.
but
To
this
be
is
honest,
what
I can't watch basketball.
this
That's a,
is what I'm saying, man. These kids come into the game, these kids come into the league, and they don't love the game. Yo, I just had big shout out to Anthony Ireland. I just had Anthony Ireland on my podcast. Big shout out to All We Live, right? Had Anthony Ireland on All We Live. He played at Loyola Marymount University, Hall of Famer there at LMU, Hall of Famer in his high school, Hall of Famer at his prep school. Like, you know,
When did he
just
play? What era are we talking?
We talking from 2010 to 2014.
Okay, wow.
So he's been playing professionally overseas for the last 10 years. I'm only bringing him up because I just recently had him on the show last week. And what he said was his pops played, you know what I'm saying, professionally as well. Came up under his pops. His pops asked him at 8 or 9 years old, like, do you love the game? He was like, yeah, I love the game. He's like, nah. My pops asked me, looked me eye to eye, asked me, no. Do you love the game? Like, do you love playing? And he had to think about
Valerie,
what he was saying.
stop slamming stuff.
And you know what I'm saying? Like he had to think about what he was saying. And he just flat out was like, yo, I really love the game. So it's a big difference than just, you know what I mean, liking the lifestyle that it brings and actually loving the game. Now it comes into question, does Anthony Edwards really love the game of basketball, or is he just good at it and plays it?
I think he loves playing, and he is good at it. I don't know if he loves the whole thing. And I think there's a lot of players like that nowadays, more than ever before. So many distractions. You can consume basketball in so many ways, and you don't have to watch full games. And it's just the culture has completely changed. That's one thing I'm realizing, Flea, and now that I'm working with kids that play basketball, young hoopers, bro, none of these guys ask me about the NBA. They do not watch full games. They do not even talk about the games that are happening. Back in the day when I was a kid, bro, we used to go to the park and we'd be talking. After we stopped playing pickup, we were talking hoops. These kids have no interest except for a couple of them. And it's wild to me that they all play basketball. Some know that I do this, some don't. I don't really go all out and talk about that. But they don't ask me anything. Mind you, this is a generation of kids that is growing up in Los Angeles that has never even seen Kobe pre-Achilles. And they don't ask me questions about him.
Have no clue about him.
But they all he's like a deity to them. He's like, they wear his shoes and he's this legend, but they never really seen him play like that. And you damn know they're not watching full old games because they're not even watching current full games. Dude, TikTok, Instagram, I mean, they think because watching highlights will show them the picture. Enough for them to be able to talk about it at school, but nah, man, it's not the same at all.
OG got a son playing right now. OG, what is like, and if you can speak to it, like, what is your son's level of interest in basketball that came before him? Like, what? Because isn't he like 18, 19 years old? He's playing now. So
he's 18 and he loves the game. And you know, when I break it down to him, like, you know, you gotta watch everybody. And he looks forward to watching old games, YouTube and the old guys. Mm-hmm. You know, like he knows about Larry Bird. You know what I mean? And he, you know, after a while, he took it upon himself. He loves the game and he just loves watching it and learning it. And, you know, when you talk to him, you know, if he don't know nothing, he's going to be honest. But he's not going to say nothing crazy. Because, you know, he knows, you know, there's guys that was before KD and Kobe. There were guys before Jordan and Bird. And to me, it's not even about who's better, who's not. I'm just saying, I like how Magic responded. The little bit we seen, because I'm being honest with you, this generation, they only respect ignorance. You can't teach them nothing. They don't want to be taught nothing. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes you got to be petty with them. Because all they respect is, like Magic said, I don't know what y'all talking about, but the skill we had, we went in college, high school, and the pros. Sometimes you gotta do that. God rest his soul, Jerry West. Look how he showed up. Your man, JJ Redick. Yeah, it might have been petty, but sometimes that's all they respect is petty. You can't talk to them and school them about nothing. So yeah, just Fleet, great question. I just feel, that's why I say the guys that Ant-Man look up to need to school him.
Mm-hmm.
Just how I school my son. Like my son, just real quick, before basketball, he loved wrestling.
Okay.
And I said, bro, it was some guys before these guys. Before The Rock and them, it was Hulk Hogan and Sting and all them guys and the Iron Sheiks and you get what I'm saying, Jake the Snakes and
don't get Fabian started.
Right. Now I mean, so I just feel, it's up to the OGs now to school these guys, man. And yeah, it's a joke, but now don't get mad at Magic when he spit his fire. Because Magic got every right to say what he say and be super petty. Because let's be realistic. These are the same guys that say Steph Curry's the greatest point guard ever. And we know damn well Magic ain't trying to hear that. So it's a lot behind this with this younger and older generation.
Yeah, Magic might be tired. Magic might be a little tired.
Exactly. Fabian, your thoughts on Magic's response?
I think we always need pettiness. Isaiah and Michael Jordan been beefing for 40 years. Hilarious. It shows you nothing changed. Like Ant-Man is the new thing. He's the new it factor in the game. And he needs the guy from back in the day to show him. The guy who really, it's him and Magic and Bird that started this thing. On live, they changed it from tape delay to live TV. You ain't do that, Ant-Man. Like, Magic could have really got into his bag. You ain't Ant-Man without me. So, like you guys said, we didn't get to watch the rest of the video. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that whole championship thing. I always think that that's stupid. And it's funny. It made for a good soundbite, but he could have gotten to a better bag. That's why I always respect when Jerry West said, what did you do to impact the outcome of a game? I will repeat that for the rest of my life to JJ Redick. Are you crazy? Because the competitive nature comes out. And again, we always talk about his competition. They don't feel any different than you did, Ant-Man. Like, look at this Isaiah Thomas quote. And Flea, you're going to love this, Flea. Somebody replied to him and said, so they ain't get faster and stronger today? The 7-footers not moving differently? It's not more than 6-7 players moving like 6-footers? Isaiah Thomas, the great Zeke Isaiah Thomas responded, they look faster today because of the rule change, which prohibits holding and hand checking to impede progress. In football, for example, wide receivers can play the middle of the field without fear and rack up more yardage. Today, the rules favor quarterbacks and receivers, which is all I've ever said. But this is something that I don't know if Ant-Man will even understand, and because he respects KD more clearly than Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson and anybody else. Those are the guys that really hold responsible because they started all this with LeBron and I'm better than Jordan because I said so business. It's like, nah, there's an argument here. And your little fan base ain't going to trick us into nothing. We watched the game. Yeah, I respect Magic just coming out and saying something. I always hated the whole championship thing because to your point, Flea, you were drafted by an elite team. You don't have to go deal with Minnesota like Ant-Man and Kevin Garnett. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't disrespectful. And, I love it because it gets us started. It gets Dom going because he gets to dip into his traditional historical bag. But for the most part, I love it because, bro, this is where we come from. This is what we grew up idolizing. And it wasn't for no reason. That's the problem that I don't like. We got to teach these young whippersnappers. But we wasn't looking up to no bums.
Right.
Chill out.
That's the other thing. Like, when we respected greatness. Like, we respected greatness. Like, I've always told y'all, like, you know what I'm saying? My pops always tell me, when you go in a room full of older people, especially older men, you guys shut up for a minute. Shut up and just listen for a little bit. Take in what's going on. Because they got some stuff for you. They got some stuff. Now, you could leave what you want, take what you need, but the fact of the matter is they just know more because they just been here longer, right? That's just what it's about. They just have more wisdom. And, you know what I'm saying? Instead of this young generation, especially when we talking about basketball, stop being so quick to talk and say something and be fly. Like, I'm sure Ant-Man was in a capacity where it was something funny, like you said, a cool soundbite. What were you really talking about that you actually said Michael Jordan was the only skilled player in that era. That sounds nuts. That just sounds irresponsible. That's what it sounds. It sounds irresponsible. It lets us know, like Don was saying, it lets us know that you are not really a student of the game. You're not watching basketball. You're not going back and really looking at like what was going on then. What could I have learned? Who paved the way? Like he wasn't doing that clearly.
But I think it does lend itself now on Twitter. We got this divide. Shout out to Coach Millie on Dom when he reposted Sedell threats. I don't know if it's threats or threats. And then
Sedell
Nick Van Axel
three.
Sedell threes. Nick Van Axel comes underneath there and siding with his guy. Nick the Quick. You ain't telling us he wasn't nice to have and wasn't skilled. So it allows us to put this on display because this is gonna go on forever. That's the other thing we gotta get off of too as an older crowd. Dom, use a diplomat out here for the older generation. But we got to get over all this. Like, we kept blaming the new generation being on social media and all that. But all I see is these older people acting a fool on social media, too.
That's what I'm saying. They lean in. That was my point earlier. They lean into, you know what I mean, what it is today. Like, I'm saying you can't get away from it because it just is what it is. But now they are taking advantage of it and, you know, doing what they do. So, I don't know. There needs to be. Go ahead, OG.
Real quick, hey Dom. If you was up there, give us some names to respond to Ant-Man in the Jordan era that was skilled.
Obviously, I'm not as well versed in the Jordan era as you guys. So I don't know. Clyde Drexler, Nick Van Exel, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. I think Patrick Ewing is skilled. David Robinson, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill. I mean, it's just this is stupid. Like, I just feel dumb even saying all these things. Like, and even acknowledging that there's too many skilled players. But I think Allball, you would be a better person. You know the 90s better than me. I know the 60s and the 70s pretty well, but the 90s, I haven't watched the full games like that. And you know me, I don't like talking about shit when I don't really know it like that.
I mean, look
like
at
Ant-Man.
But look at this is just real quick, y'all. This is where Ant-Man throws me, right? Look at Michael Jordan's teammates. He played with Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, two of the most skilled players. You know, if you talk about top 100 skilled players ever, those two guys' names are going to come up. If I'm not mistaken, Charles Barkley, Clyde Drexler, Hakeem Olajuwon. Like it's just like, come on, bro. Then we're not even talking about he played in the era with Isaiah Thomas, with Larry Bird,
with Magic Johnson.
You're like yeah. So you know what I mean. Then you have Carmelo, you got John Stockton, and it's like that's why I say I just hope he misunderstood skill for athletic, because he had to mean that, because there's no way in the world you can name skill when look at what Reggie Miller was doing. That's a skill. We can laugh at Reggie Miller all we want, but Reggie Miller is top 10 greatest shooting guards all time.
Shooters.
Speaking of shooters, and speaking of top shooters we've ever seen, Klay Thompson might be at the front of the list this offseason for biggest offseason moves. Went to the Dallas Mavericks. We have a plethora of offseason moves, which goes on way more nowadays than ever before, right?
Yeah.
Klay Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks, Mikal Bridges to our Knicks, Chris Paul to the Spurs, Paul George to Philadelphia, Russell Westbrook ended up with the Denver Nuggets, and DeJounte Murray to the Pelicans. That's a sneaky little transaction over there.
And DeRozan, right?
And DeRozan in Sacramento. If you want to mention KCP in Orlando, I think that's major. Please, you the one making faces over there, man. What you over there side-eyeing about?
Now I like everything. I thought you mentioned one move that I thought was but
okay, so let me set it up straight. Which one is the biggest offseason move when it comes to flea facts?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, the Klay Thompson move to Dallas, in my opinion, I think changes a lot over there. Like, just the way that they attack offensively now. that have that type of gun. Not an average shooter. This is a guy that is elite. We just said Reggie Miller is top two. No, Klay is going to be mentioned as well, right? So they have a guy now that I think allows them so much more space to operate for two guys that already can operate in the phone booth with Luka and Kyrie. But now you have so much more space to operate with a guy that can knock down open shots. Like, man, we talked about Klay having the open shots with Steph and KD. Jesus Christ, he's going to be open every time he comes down the court with this team. So I think that's a major move, especially coming off of a finals run. I think those two guys, they feeling that. You ain't seen Kyrie all summer long. You ain't seen too much of Luka all summer long. I think that's not sitting well with them. Jason Kidd, that whole team, I think, is going to be ready to rock next year.
Okay.
So that Klay Thompson move is big for me.
All right, but what about this though? They lost Derek Jones. They lost Josh Green. That's not as big a deal, but Derek, you don't think it's fine? You think it's fine? They lost Derek Jones. They got who? Najee Marshall.
I think Najee
Grimes
and Grimes
and Najee Marshall. I think those are big, Dom.
Those are
Najee
big.
Marshall.
They added a lot of shooting.
Are you worried about Klay Thompson, Kyrie, Luka starting lineup defensively? Because offensively, I agree with what you're saying, but I think Klay Thompson, I don't know, he doesn't move the needle for me the way he used to. I've been telling you, I love Klay Thompson, but I've been telling you guys about he's on the major decline now to me. He's going to have some big games. He'll still probably average like 37 or 38% shooting from three, but he'll be hot and cold to me. And then defensively, I don't know. Will he jack less because he's playing with Luka and Kyrie and he's not on the Warriors where he can, he was one of the greatest players of all time there. He's got to win a new fan base over. So because he was starting to jack a little bit for me, taking the same shots he was taking when he was in his prime.
Yeah, but I think that's tightness. I think that's getting tight. I don't think I'm going to get the rock back. Like, I'm worrying about if I'm a starter now, if I'm coming off the bench. Like, a lot is going on mentally up there. So the type of shots he started, I know exactly what you're saying, Don, but the type of shots he started taking is a clear indicator that he's not sure where he's at in the rotation or even the relationship he has with Kerr anymore. Like, it was time for him to get up out of there.
But
y'all said, hold on, Dom, you're saying a lot. And we got the biggest Klay Thompson fan over here, all ball. What you think about what Dom is saying about Klay Thompson leaving Golden State to Dallas? He's a shot jacker, apparently. What do you think about him going to Dallas as the biggest offseason move?
I agree. I love Klay going to Dallas. Like I said, I think what happened with Klay and Golden State was unfortunate. We tend to forget, it was a lot of personal things going on. And I think, that's what had him kind of messed up. I don't want to give him an excuse for having a bad season. But, when you think your brothers backstabbed you, and when you see the organization not willing to pay you your money and do, things the right way, I think mentally that messed with him. And then him coming off the bench for guys that, no disrespect, I don't even know how they in the league. So you have that. Listen, they got 2-3 guys on that roster that they was putting over Klay Thompson. I don't care how bad he plays. That shouldn't have happened. So from that to you being in trade talks for LeBron James, your nemesis, to your brothers knowing and not holding you down, to Draymond talking crazy on his platform about you. Listen, man, and then the organization not wanting to give you your money, and then your splash brother not sticking up for you. I think mentally he was done. So I think that's what played a major part in him having a bad season with Golden State. I think him going to Dallas, playing with two guys that you have to double team. So now he's going to get wide open shots. I understand they lost some guys in the defense, but throughout the season, I think they can pick up some guys that's going to help with that. Let's be realistic. Derek Jones, he's been all over the place. So you're not going to tell me they can't find another Derek Jones.
Okay, but their starting lineup is going to be Kyrie, Luka, and Klay. Defensively, that's not great. Offensively, fine, but you also Flea, you didn't mention that he's going to be taking different kinds of shots now in the sense that it's going to be a lot more stand still, catch and shoot threes. I mean, I definitely think they're going to put him in movement a bit, but it's not the movement of the Warriors.
Well, Dom, you have a point, but I would be scared of that lineup in the playoffs.
That's that right there.
Yeah,
is more of what I'm leaning towards. Like at 82 games, like you said, he's gonna have big game. We'll see a 30-point barrage from Klay Thompson at some point this season, just not being able to miss. But I'm talking about in the playoffs, in an NBA Finals, when Luka and Kyrie are just not having good shooting games. I'm talking about percentage-wise, and they need to take some air out of that and open up the valve a little bit and take some pressure out. Klay Thompson can be one of those guys that hit big shots. We've seen him hit big shots. He's still capable of hitting big shots. I'm never going to take that from a guy who's, if not the second greatest shooter we've ever seen. So I just think what I'm referring to more so leans towards the playoffs, like OG was mentioning.
I think that's the concern that Dom is bringing up, because even having him as a starting lineup, Dom, I'm not. If you're Dallas, I'm not concerned with how that starting lineup really works out.
Bring that mic closer.
I'm not really. You can hear me good?
Yeah.
I'm not really concerned with the 82 game season. Like, that's what you take time to figure everything out. That in the playoffs, that can't be your main 3-man rotation. Who's gonna defend? 3 guys ain't defending. That's why the Quentin Grimes thing makes a lot of sense. Quentin Grimes, we were very familiar with him.
I think y'all are being unfair, a little too harsh on that. Who's gonna defend? They didn't make the NBA Finals just because they hit shots. There was instances where they had to play defense, team defense. Okay, I got individually, Luka is not the guy, is not Kawhi Leonard. I got Kyrie Irving is not the best on-ball defender, but they were the latter seed in every series. They were on the road every series, and they were in the NBA. Like, I just think that they got better defensively.
They got better defensively?
No, I'm talking about through the season. They got better defensively.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, like
the trade happened. The trade. PJ Washington is still there, right?
Yes.
But Derrick Jones is a big body.
Derrick Jones was guarding the best player in every series in that Western Conference: SGA, Ant-Man, and Paul George.
Okay.
Right, and they he was hot. They were good, but I just think that's a lot, Flea. You got Gafford and what's the kid, the rookie Favors?
Lively.
Lively's the second year in the league. He's gonna get better. He can pass his ass off. I love the way Lively passes the ball, but that's a lot of ground he has to make up. He's the anchor when he's out there, and then Gafford is too. They missing up. They might be a super offense, but defensively they lacking, man. You can't just have. To me, I would love to see a 3-man lineup like that. Yeah, throw them out there. Old ass Klay Thompson and Kyrie and Luka.
We'll talk more about the Mavs and like where we rank them when we do our preview. I assume we still want to try to do that preview because that last season was great.
Yeah, we did. Season.
But let me ask you, Fabian. What do you think was the biggest offseason move? Do you think that was Klay Thompson, or are you going somewhere else with that one?
You don't know where I'm going? You crazy? It's only one place, baby. Okay. It's only one place. You can't get no bigger than this city, man. We lost Isaiah Hartenstein. I get that. But Mikal Bridges, the same way you hyped about Klay Thompson going over there, Flea, and Quentin Grimes, we didn't mention, he your idol, Don, he helped. JJ Redick helped Quentin Grimes with his shot, and it got a little quicker on the trigger. But Quentin Grimes showed that he can change up his shot, and now he's going to be over there with Luka, Kyrie, Klay Thompson, Quentin Grimes. That's his coach now, Flea. That's wicked. But with the Knicks, come on, man, we're a defensive orientated team, so we're the flip side of that. You got OG and Bridges on the perimeter to make up for Brunson, who's okay defensively because he does his little things here and there. Mitchell Robinson at times. Everyone keeps saying Boston, but forget all of that. We see how the Minnesota Timberwolves were really the best defense in the league last year. Those were big bodies on the perimeter going crazy. Even when you had to sit down the big goof himself, Rudy Gobert. That perimeter defense is amazing. So That's what I'm looking forward to. And Mikal Bridges is a two-way player. That's the biggest deal by far because that's what, as far as I'm concerned, we have some questions about Klay Thompson in Dallas fitting. We have some concerns about Paul George in Philadelphia fitting. We ain't got no concern about Bridges being a Nova Knicks alumni coming over here and fitting right in here. So that's the biggest offseason move. Stop playing with me, Dom. How dare you even question me like that?
What's the starting lineup to you?
Right now, Brunson, Bridges, OG, Randall, Mitchell Robinson, if healthy.
Hart and DiVincenzo on the bench?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
A very good bench.
Oh, yeah.
Deuce McBride back at point guard?
Yes, sir. That's what we wrote. No, and Tyler Kolek.
You think, but he's the third on the depth chart right now.
Deuce McBride was
proven otherwise.
Deuce had a hell of a run last year, so he's earned Thibodeau's trust. But I fully see Tyler Kolek playing backup point guard minutes because of the type of guard he is. Deuce is not a great ball handler. Tyler Kolek is already, I think, a pro-level ball handler. And now we're talking about that prototypical point guard to be able to spell Brunson. Yeah, it's nothing against Deuce. I think Deuce could spell 1, 2, or 3, right? I think you could put him in all 3 of those spots. Obviously, he'd be more successful at the 1, but 1, 2, or 3, I think he's going to be able to play. But when you see Brunson needs a breath, it's the end of that first quarter, and you need to finish out the quarter, and I think Kolek is the guy. I think we're extremely deep. We missing backup center. I don't want to turn this into a Knicks talk, but
that is a relevant point, and it's being asked in the comments as well. Are you a little nervous about? Well, yeah, you're right. We did talk about the moves. That is a hole, though, right? No backup yet.
Yeah, no question. I think that's it's important. We get that. We need a backup big. No question.
Need that body. Dom, what you thinking? What's the biggest offseason move?
Well, I think that's arguably the biggest. I mean, the fact that you're literally, this is something that you guys and we've talked about a lot, the potential of Mikal Bridges actually coming to the other team. And
so, but if it's arguable, who do you have as number 1?
I think that you guys had the best move because I think the biggest one is probably Paul George. No, I'm serious.
Hey, go wake up, OG.
You know what though? Yeah. Singular move, yes. Are you talking about who had the best offseason? Because I'm asking you, if you're asking me who had the best offseason,
that is two different questions.
Best singular move, Mikal Bridges, I think, because now the perimeter defense, the amount of wings you have, the switchability on the wings with OG, Hart, and Bridges.
DiVincenzo.
And yeah, it's literally a team to me that's set up for the Celtics. You're literally set up to play Boston. Bunch of switching, bunch of wings that can defend those guys. I mean, that is I can see you guys beating Boston quicker than I can see you guys winning the whole thing, though. Because I still got to stick to my conviction. Your best scorer, you're still relying on a 6'2" guard. Put the ball in the hole.
Well, you gotta stick to your hate some more.
It's not hate if I side with NBA history. I would love if Brunson joined Steph Curry in that exclusive club because I like the Knicks. I'm a Knicks sympathizer. But
yeah, that's the answer. The Knicks. We got 2 votes.
No, I'm saying the singular vote, the singular move is Mikal Bridges to me is the best for the Knicks. But the best offseason to me, Oklahoma City Thunder to get Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, their defense is going to be insane. And Hartenstein and Chet, I mean, their rim protection, they got Lou Dort, Caruso, J-Dub, and SGA all can defend on the perimeter. Cason Wallace. They got a really, really good team. And SGA is not a small guard. He's 6'6", and he's proven that he might be the best scorer in the NBA now if we're really talking about it. 2 straight seasons, averaging 30-plus points, but he did it in the playoffs. Too.
Those are the Knicks of the West. Oh, boy, who do you think is the best off-season transaction thus far?
I mean, I don't want to sound biased, but I agree with Dom. I think the Knicks, we made the best off-season trade. Seriously. And, because it's our Knicks, there's going to be a lot of hate. But let me just say this. OKC second round loss, 7 games?
Yes. No, 6 games.
6 games.
SGA missed the game winner in the corner.
Yeah, 6 games. Knicks, second round loss, 7 games. OKC acquires Caruso, Hartenstein, we acquire Bridges and get Julius Randle back. I'm just trying to figure out how are they better than us. Not saying Dom or anybody else is saying that. Once again, to me, the Knicks, not because I'm a Knicks fan, for us to get Bridges with that crew we have now, and nobody's seen that coming, pause. I think that's the best move in the offseason. I don't think it's even close.
And they obviously have the pre-existing chemistry too, which
yes, exactly, Dom. Exactly. So everybody else made decent moves, but I think that was the move the whole offseason.
So that segues to the best offseason then, just offseason in general, Flea. Like I could see you see the gears going.
Who had the best
offseason? So forget transaction.
Like
that was 3
collectively?
Votes. Yeah.
Philly had a damn good offseason. Call it what you want. Like, it's not even talking, it's not fandom. Like, they had a damn good off season. They did. What they did to retool that roster, I ain't talking about the what's gonna happen, but what they did. You at what was the best going and getting Paul George, going and grabbing Caleb Martin, going and getting Andre Drummond, re-signing Kyle Lowry. Eric Gordon is there now, right? Like they did a lot of small things over there that's gonna matter when shit really matters. And they had a damn, like, collectively they had a damn good off season. I would say them and OKC for sure.
Okay, just real quick. So I love oil like brothers. Philadelphia offseason was overrated. Paul George is overrated.
We're not talking about that.
Andre Drummond is dirt. Let's be for real. Caleb Martin, he ain't have a good season ever since. So to me, that was a fluke. And Kyle Lowry, you don't get out of here with that flea.
Yo,
those offseason acquisitions is trash, bro.
Hey, but let me ask you this, Allball. Don't you think that they got better replacing Tobias Harris with Paul George? Paul George is going to be a third option for the first time in his career.
Who says he's going to be a third option?
What? What else
would you mean? What? Why would he be a third option? So you telling me right now Maxey is – hold on. Y'all telling me, I'm just asking y'all, the great basketball minds. Game on the line. Who are you putting the ball in the hands of? Maxey or Paul George?
How much time is left on the clock? How much time is left on the clock?
I don't care, Dom. I'm asking a simple question.
I care how much time is left on the clock.
There's no way in the world Maxey is taking a shot before Paul George.
There is a world. I think there is a world that Maxey takes a shot before Paul George. Like all this history, like you said, like we talking about.
Real quick. Right. But say it like this. I think like this, Allball. Who would you draw the play up for?
I would draw it up for Paul. Last play. Here's the difference, though. Paul George, for the last shot, I used to say this all the time when he was with us. For the last shot, I had him over Kawhi because he can get his shot off on anybody. Like, how often do you really see Paul get blocked? Like, you know what I mean? For a jump shot, he can get his shit off on anybody. He's got wiggle to his game, all that. But closing a game like last 5 minutes as a closer, no, he makes me nervous. I would rather have Maxey with the ball in his hands. But that's why I asked him how much time is left. Because last shot is different to me than closing completely.
But I think that whole closing thing, Flea, that having the last shot, you draw the last play for them, that feeds into ego. I know Paul George been around 3,000 blocks already, but that is the worry for how do you fit this team together. Eric Gordon's a great addition too, but I've never been big on him since he came out of. He didn't play for Ohio State. Who he played for?
Indiana.
He's a good shooter. Indiana. Like that's a good pickup to have, to have him out there to spread the floor for someone like Paul George. But
fuck out of here. I think it's
like
dirt, man. It's over, man.
Like Eric Gordon was in Phoenix. What did he really do?
Nothing.
I just think the fit for Philly's like, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
You don't think the starting lineup isn't a good fit, Fabian? It's a very solid fit, in my opinion.
Who?
Philly.
They sound like another super team to me. Ready for destruction.
They're a super team, but they have one guard, one wing, and one big. I think it's a nice balance.
So all right, so real quick, so they benches Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, and Andre Drummond and Caleb Martin.
That's not fantastic. That's not fantastic, but you have Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. Listen,
I'm talking about what fits. They got Kelly Oubre too. Kelly had a great year last year.
Yes.
All ball. By the way, going back to that, just because Paul George is a better option to take the last shot does not mean he's not the third option. He definitely is.
He's not the third option, Dom. You'll see.
He's better than Maxey?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Yes.
You're nuts. Out of your mind. And you're going to find out the hard way right now this season.
Tyrese Maxey is better. Hold on, because y'all two over there on the other ends is real quiet. Tyrese Maxey is better than Paul George now?
I'm talking about right now.
How did you guys see what he just did against you guys in the playoffs? And you saw what Paul George did. 19 points.
Last year was the first time in forever I saw Paul George play over 70 games. He did that because it was a contract year. He played great last year, but I haven't seen him do jack shit before that. That was the season in OKC when he was like top 3 MVP. Those are the last 2 seasons that are like Maxey right now is all he's doing is ascending. We ain't see what Maxey just did in the playoffs against us.
Yeah, he lost in 6 games.
Yeah, and Paul George lost in 6 games, did not have a game 5 where he went absolutely nuts like that. Averaged 19 points. Averaged 19 points without Kawhi.
What was Paul George? Who was Paul George's sidekick in that first round?
Harden, and he played better than him.
No. I'm asking a simple question. Okay, now Harden, who everybody gave up on, including you, Dom. So don't jump on the Harden bandwagon now. You didn't like him.
No. I don't fuck with Harden at all. Still, hold on. But I'm telling you what he did in the playoffs.
Who was Maxey's sidekick?
But Maxey is the sidekick.
MVP, right?
Maxey is the sidekick.
Okay,
But Joel Embiid missed 40 games.
Maxey is and kept them in playoff contention.
Maxey
he almost took him out of playoff contention.
Maxey had his guy. Maxey had his guy alongside of him. Paul George didn't. I don't care about that.
So does that give Paul George an excuse?
Maxey is gonna get better. Paul George is not gonna get better.
It doesn't even. It doesn't even matter if he's going to get better or not, because right now he's still not as good as Maxey. I'm telling you, Maxey.
But hold on, but I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose the point. I think the point is Paul George still has to fit in there, and he better not act like he's a second option. There's a lot of chances that happen. Hold on. James Harden was there, and I'm sitting there going, Maxey's better than him. Why is he doing all that? The whole offense stagnates with Harden in the game. All that pocket pass, and they read right through it. Maxey was getting better than him back then. So all I think the point is, the stronger point would be, bro, I don't know if Paul George, if he's over it, if he can just play third option.
In the first round with Harden and with Maxey. Get out of here, man. Maxey ain't better than Paul George.
Who do you think Paul George is right now?
He's better than Maxey.
No, he's not. Maxey gets to the rim at will. He gets 2 feet in the paint whenever he wants.
So let me ask you a question, OG. Let me ask you a question. Paul George is better than Jalen Brunson right now?
Hell no.
Yeah, you guys are.
No. Yeah. And hold on. And Maxey ain't better than Jalen Brunson either.
So see, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, I can't hear it. You bugging right now.
Yeah, all right. When it comes to Brunson, leave that alone.
Because I wanted to put it right there.
Brunson best player in the NBA right now. That's a fact.
Okay, but listen. Paul George, Fabian, like you're acting like this guy is gonna come in and he thinks he's so great. Bro, he is passive as hell. He took 16 shots a game without Kawhi in the playoffs. Bro, all ball making excuses because Kawhi's not there. Does that give him a right to only shoot 16 shots?
I get what you're saying. I'm not. That's not thought. I understand what you're saying, but to say Maxey is better than Paul George because y'all brought up the playoffs. You said, look what Maxey did in the playoffs and
in the regular season he was better too.
Once again, I understand what you're saying, but right now, it's nowhere in the world you telling me I don't believe y'all. Maxey's a better basketball player than Paul George. He's not. I don't care what he is.
I'm taking Tyrese Maxey over Paul George.
I'm not taking neither one.
Yeah.
But
that's fine.
But it's okay.
If I got to pick them off the baseline, Give me Maxey before I pick Paul George.
And it's never been about Paul George's ability. It's always been his effort. And he was getting mad emotional once again last year. He played 70 games for you, but he even came out like, yeah, after the trade negotiations, and come on, get him. I don't want that on my team. But that emotional wreck could lead him to think he's the second best player on the team for whatever reason. That's quite possible.
I think he'll only start complaining if he's not getting enough touches or shots after then they start losing some games. But I don't think he's going to come in with that kind of attitude at all. And he's very easy to play with, if we're being real, in terms of him moving off the ball, working quickly off the catch. Any coach would like to have Paul George to have in their offense, to me.
At this juncture, he needs to accept whatever role is best for the team. And if not being the second option on the team is the best role for you on the team, the point in your career, we boosting you up still off of shit that you did years ago. But like Allball loves to stand on, championships. This dude ain't won shit yet either. So what you come into Philly to think you the second option, and if that doesn't work, things are gonna have to change if you want to win. And they set that team up to win. Like Paul George better not come over here thinking he's second to Embiid. Don't do it.
Who's helping Paul George on the rotation? Batum, to me, it was better than Oubre on defense. There are a lot of guys out. Who's the defenders now?
They kept him
no,
too.
Batum was he's on the Clippers. He went back to LA.
Oh, they came back to LA. Ew.
That's a major loss.
We're very excited about that.
I like Batum. Even when I was watching Oubre, I'm like, yeah, he's a big body, but Brunson gets right by him. I'm not impressed with Oubre like that. Who's playing defense? Eric Gordon? Who's defending for the Philadelphia 76ers? Remember, Embiid's out for 50 games. You already know that.
Okay, I'll say that Paul's not bad at defense. He's just not as high effort on a nightly basis like he used to be, but he can still defend, not the best player, but the second.
Let's see him try to defend my guy Brunson.
No, he won't do that. It's going to be Kelly Oubre all the time when you play each other. But
anyway,
that's
and we're going to torch him. And we're going to torch him.
Hey,
barbecue. What you say, please? I missed it.
I got to run it.
Now, hold on, fellas. All these bums Philly got. Please, you still feel like they got the best offseason?
Not yet. I think collectively, what they did they got a way better team than they had last year.
Okay.
I just don't think there's another team that added to their team to make them like way better. Maybe guys will get healthy like us. Our Knicks, Julius Randle coming back, and the piece and the Bridges piece is insane. Right, it changes everything for us. But
who you think had the best? Hold on, because Dom got to run. Who you think had the best off season in total, or in who has the best off season collectively? Then this summer, Dom.
Okay, see, but I think also we didn't talk about it really, but briefly, I think DeRozan to Sacramento is underrated. I think it makes them a little better. They might win a round, but I don't see them going past the second round, to be honest. It just gives them another score in the half court. To me, they just have like a lot of guys where I'm like, none of them are a true like number ones that will take you to me to the finals or further. I think they have, I don't even know who their best player is, Fox or Sabonis. I think it's debatable. And then DeRozan's good, but he's worse than them. So I think they can get to the second round. Maybe if some injuries happen like Indiana, they can have that kind of run, conference finals, but they just got a little more serious, but they're still not very serious. But I still am happy for DeMar because he's finally going to be like a true second scorer on his team, or maybe, he's the second best scorer on the team. So,
yeah, but they're not. OKC's number one. So who's second in your book? Best off season?
New York.
Okay. Allball, who do you think had the best off season in general?
I'm gonna have to agree with Dom. OKC to add, the two guys they added, Hartenstein, Caruso. I think Flea, Dom, y'all all alluded to it earlier. To me, that's the best offseason because they actually didn't lose anything. Like y'all said, Philly lost Batum, which is a big loss, But OKC, listen, man, I'm not putting them at championship contention, but the best offseason, OKC, hands down. And then second, I will go with our Knicks, and then third, I will go Philly.
You already answered that, Philly? You said Philly or?
Yeah, I think Philly. Of course, us. I'm biased. I think us, everything. Us.
Right.
Us. But if I need something else, I think Philly did that.
I think with the fact that we're number one, of course, but Philly did. Let's say they got better, just for argument's sake. Let's say Boston remained the same, and in the Bucks, they got a year under their belt with these guys, championship guys who's been in the finals, won the finals, been in playoff contention. I think what makes OKC's thing even stronger, and the Magic got better with KCP over there in the East.
Good
What
move.
makes
Underrated
OKC's
move.
that's a major move in that backcourt. But what makes
they re-signed Gary Harris. They got Jonathan Isaac. Like they making sure Suggs is all NBA defending that. Like
Bonchetto's third season about to be probably take a leap.
He gonna go crazy.
So the East has gotten Miami to me has gotten way better. I can't wait to talk to your cousin on Don. Holla at him. I want to get him on and talk about Miami. But so the East has remained the same. The powerhouses all gotten better, all of them. Then the West, if we being real, did Minnesota really get better? You lost Slow Mo. The kid Dillingham he's an undersized athletic guy. Did Denver really get better?
No, they got worse.
Dallas is up in the air to me. I don't think defensively they got better. So these are who OKC's up against. They were in the marathon against
Phoenix get better, Clippers, not really.
No.
Lakers, like nothing. A lot of the West teams stayed stagnant or got a little bit worse.
Tyus Jones getting back Grayson Allen. Like Phoenix got a chance to be good.
Phoenix got a little
good.
Good.
I don't think they're beating Minnesota the way it is. Minnesota has the Ant-Man's maturation and the Nikhil Alexander-Walker match. Like for them, it's development with Ant and those young guys. But
can I say it first here? I'm the first to say Minnesota's overrated, and the leaps that people think they're going to make. I think if they meet up with Phoenix now in the first round with the acquisition of Tyus Jones, I think that's a total different outcome. I don't see people too high on Minnesota. I'm not. Like Flea always say, they didn't get better. Sneaky. Pelicans got a little better.
Zion's not fat. DeJounte Murray is a good pickup.
What are they going to do though?
Bigger guard.
Are they going to bench? Is CJ coming off the bench and being a sixth man? Because I know they tried to trade Ingram. And now they're saying they can't find a suiter.
No, why that can't be the backcourt? Murray and CJ in the backcourt.
Because then you're okay. Then what's the rest of your team? Ingram, Zion. They're already going to start some rookie at center because they lost Valanciunas and Nance. But you can't not start Herb Jones. You just can't do it.
Can't do that.
But
if you still have Trey Murphy coming off the bench. You still have Jose Alvarado coming off the bench. Who's their big? Who's their backup? Who was their backup big?
They have a new big, some rookie, I think.
They lost Dyson Daniels.
But who are you benching of those four? Because you're gonna have to fit Herb Jones in there.
I think Herb Jones has to start.
Yeah.
Like I think that's.
But to me, that's a starting five. Herb, Zion, Ingram, in the backcourt, CJ and Jazante.
So you're playing Zion at the 5? That's gonna get destroyed.
Some lineups. I think Zion is decent at the 5. He would,
I don't think they do that. That they got some they got some challenges to face at that big position and trying to figure out.
How tall is Herb Jones?
6'7".
And he's skinny though.
But I think CJ coming off the bench is a possibility.
And that makes him a 6 man of the year favorite instantly.
I think he leans totally into being 6 man.
Well, Fleet, wow. If Derrick Jones can play center with Dallas, why Herb Jones can't do that? Like I keep telling you,
they're playing center that much. They had Gafford and Lively playing center.
No. Oh, I see.
Derrick
But
Jones
some
never
lineups he's
played.
saying.
Yeah. So what was Derrick Jones playing?
The 3, the
Three,
second
4.
biggest guy, 3 or the 4.
They could lean on Valanciunas. Like if y'all went and looked at how many minutes Valanciunas played, he probably played high minutes, right? He probably played 35 minutes a game, 36 minutes a game. Maybe I'm guessing, but that's a hole for them. Unless we're missing the big that they picked up,
it's a hole.
That's a huge hole for them. So they could get freaky, like they could mix and match it, like put Zion at the 5. Some lineups you could let B.I. play the 5. He may not have to guard 5, but he could be there. I don't know.
I got to run fast.
It's a questionable fit, and it leads me to my bold statement. I think OKC's running with the West. They win 57 games, if not more. I'm trying to think if it's 60 games. I think they're gonna scare these teams, bro. Because the Pelicans trying to figure it out. I think Dallas is gonna try to figure it out. Minnesota's gonna try to figure bro. They can really outrun. Denver's gonna be a problem for them. That's gonna be the first test for them, bro. When I see that first Denver game, I want to see what's up because you don't have that much depth.
I'm not sold on Denver anymore.
Right.
I gotta
think
see
OKC.
I gotta see Denver turn up on niggas again. I'm not very I gotta see.
I mean,
I know what time Joke is on. Murray didn't have a good Olympics for me. His season wasn't the greatest to me. That last playoff run, I'm feeling some ways about Jamal Murray. So I got to see Denver fix things over there.
And the Michael Porter Jr. contract. Go ahead, Allball.
No. I agree. To be honest, I'm not really sold on nobody. But our Knicks, and that's not because I'm biased. It's just, OKC, Minnesota. I mean, it's tough to see, young guys like that make the leap so quick. I still think teams like Phoenix and the Lakers, depending on matchups, a healthy Kawhi Leonard with the Clippers, I think, if the young teams meet up with them in the playoffs, I think the outcomes is different. And in the East, besides us in Boston, I don't believe in Philly, Cleveland, and Indiana. Like I said, I'm more scared of Orlando than anybody else when it comes to matchups with us. So, yeah, I'm being honest, man. It's to me, the field is open, and I love it like that.
Yo, Miami scared me, Flea.
Why? I was curious. You said that I was going to talk to you about that offline. Like, what was you talking about Miami? Why?
The center looks amazing. Khalil Ware summer league.
Ware tough. Bam could play
and run.
Bam could be a point forward now, fully.
Bro,
like he don't got to play.
Bam and him, and then is it the kid's name Isaiah Stevens? He played 5 years in college at Minnesota. I forgot what school he went to. I say 5 years. What the hell happened there? But he had a COVID year.
That COVID year.
He plays that point guard for them. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero's coming back. There's somebody else I'm missing over there. But I think they have a real dangerous lineup. The same last year.
You didn't say Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. But what are they gonna do? Jimmy, you gonna show up in the play? Like I don't know. I think they're gonna. How do you put up with the regular season and wait for Jimmy?
If Jimmy don't play well, that's not a playoff team to me. Remember, I said that now. If Jimmy don't play well, that ain't a playoff team.
Even in the regular season?
I think they're gonna struggle this year if Jimmy don't play 70 games, 65 games. I think they're gonna struggle like they struggled last year.
I agree. I'm over Miami. They got to prove it to me now. Yeah, I'm done with that.
I think the Florida trip is gonna change up, bro. I think that Florida trip is gonna be crazy this year. The Florida twosome, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have a name for it. I don't know it's Texas twosome.
Texas.
Y'all got another time.
Texas threesome.
Right. Alexis, Texas. You another topic, or we could read some of these. God.
I'm jumping out of here. I know you're gonna read some of the comments.
OG.
I'll read some of it, but we gotta read this, OG. The way I see it, Philly still didn't solve their biggest problem. It's injuries. PG doesn't help that.
Oh, Isaiah Jackson. I ain't seen Zeke Jackson in a minute.
We on consistently now, baby. Stop playing with us. It's 7:30 every day. Stop playing with us. For Sportsmen. Anything else, Big Flea, never a little one?
I'm good, baby. For Sportsmen. We back at it. You know the deal.
Young cats don't care about players in the 80s. They were going crazy.
I know they was going crazy.
What about Sims? Isaiah White
about to start Sims. No, the hell we not. Hope not.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he said what about Sims? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I got this on the small screen.
Put your glasses back on.
Word, this ain't Nick Rehab. I'm sorry. East is tougher than the West. Yeah, that's your man, Stocksinio. Your man is crazy.
Stocksinio.
I think OKC's running with it though, Flea. I think the West is doomed.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough. The West, the whole league is gonna be interesting to watch this year. There's gonna be.
How old is Caruso?
Caruso ain't 30 yet. Can't be.
He won the chip with the Lakers, or he got traded too soon?
No, he won with them. He was there. He was on that 2020 team.
We live.
Big Flea. never the little one.
Boys tough, man.
suckers.
Listen, man. You know who we be. 4 sportsmen. We come around when we come around.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Get down or lay down. How about that? Shout out to Beanie Siegel and them.
What here you roll up with?
I need no chill out.
Allball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.